Hello, I'm Laura the Library Lady, and welcome to today's episode. Well, girls and boys, it is Wednesday, and we are at the end of the month of May. And I've been out gardening, and I've been taking care of weeding and taking care of some other things, and my father's out there, and we're both working really hard. But can you imagine somebody helping you, and they're doing the exact opposite of what you want? That's what happens in this book. Amelia Bedelia helps out. So, our objective today, boys and girls, is clear communication because what you may say, someone else may not understand or interpret it a different way. So, Amelia Bedelia helps out is by Miss Peggy Parrish, and the pictures are by Miss Lynn Sweet or Sweet. Oh, all right, and it's by Avon Books. So we want to thank all of them for this wonderful book, and we're going to talk about how important it is to communicate. And when you work in a garden, sometimes you get bugs, so that's something you have to worry about too. Have a good day, said Mr. Rogers, and you help your Aunt Effie Lou. I will, said Effie Lou. I'll come back for you late this afternoon, said Mr. Rogers, and he drove off. What a grand house, said Effie Lou. Miss Emma is the grand woman, said Amelia Bedelia. She went to the door and knocked. Come in, called Miss Emma. Amelia Bedelia and Effie Lou went inside. I'm glad to see you, said Miss Emma. Sumter is sick, and my garden is a mess. Don't you fret, said Amelia Bedelia. We will take care of that. Just tell us what to do. First, said Miss Emma, weed the garden. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. Is there anything else? Yes, said Miss Emma. But go ahead and start before the sun gets hot. And it is good to garden before the sun gets hot. I agree with Miss Emma. Come on, Effie Lou, said Amelia Bedelia. Let's get busy. They went to the garden. It does have a lot of weeds, said Effie Lou. She started to pull one. Stop, said Amelia Bedelia. What are you doing? Trying to get the weeds out of the garden, said Effie Lou. Get them out, said Amelia Bedelia. She said to weed the garden, not unweed it. Oh, Effie Lou said. I wonder why she wants more weeds, Amelia Bedelia thought. Those weeds are little, she said. Maybe vegetables get hot just like people. They need big weeds to shade them. That's why Miss Emma told us to weed before the sun gets hot. That makes sense, said Effie Lou. I see some really big weeds. Let's get them, said Amelia Bedelia. They did. Soon the garden was weeded. Now, boys and girls, I'm a gardener. And I know that's not what Miss Emma meant. But let's see what happens. Amelia Bedelia and Effie Lou went back to the house. The garden is weeded, said Amelia Bedelia. Good, said Miss Emma. Now I want you to stake the beans. Here's a string to tie them. You can use this saw to cut the stakes. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. So she's got a second job. I think Miss Emma made a mistake by not checking the first job. There are bugs on the potato plants. Take this bug powder and dust them, said Miss Emma. If you say so, said Amelia Bedelia. The telephone rang. Miss Emma went to answer it. Oh boy, what is she going to do this time? Amelia Bedelia found all the things she needed. She and Effie Lou went back to the garden. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. We will stake the beans first. Have you ever done that? Said Effie Lou. No, said Amelia Bedelia, but she just said to stake them. Anybody can do that. Can I help? Said Effie Lou. Yes, said Amelia Bedelia. You count out the bean plants. Effie Lou counted and said, there are 15. Okay, 15 bean plants. All right. Amelia Bedelia unwrapped the package. She shook her head and said, that's a mighty little bit of steak for 15 plants. But it was all she had. She took the saw and cut the steak into 15 pieces. Oh boy. Boys and girls, do you think that's what Miss Emma wanted? Is there another word that means steak? I could have cut better with a knife, she said. Why didn't you use one? Said Effie Lou. Didn't Miss Emma say to use this saw? Said Emma Bedelia. Yes, said Effie Lou. Then that's why, said Amelia Bedelia. Now hold the steak while I tie it. Amelia Bedelia and Effie Lou staked those beans. So girls and boys, they put raw steak on bean plants in the garden. Okay. All right, beans, said Amelia Bedelia. Enjoy your steak, Effie Lou laughed. Your work is fun, she said. That it is, said Amelia Bedelia. Now those bugs are waiting to be dusted. How do we do that? Said Effie Lou. Oh boy, I'm scared to know what's going to happen, boys and girls. Let's see what Amelia Bedelia does. I'll catch and you dust, said Amelia Bedelia. Here, bug, here, buggy, buggy, bug. They caught and dusted every bug. Why did she want us to do that? Said Effie Lou. Most people want bugs killed. But Miss Emma is not most people, said Amelia Bedelia. Those bugs may be her pets. They are pretty little things if you like bugs, said Effie Lou. Do you think that's what Miss Emma meant, boys and girls? Oh boy, oh boy. That takes care of that, said Amelia Bedelia. Let's go in. I made lunch for you, called Miss Emma. After you eat, throw some scraps to the chickens. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. And Amelia Bedelia, said Miss Emma, my garden club is meeting here this afternoon. Please make a tea cake. I'll be glad to, said Amelia Bedelia. I do love to bake. Oh boy, poor Miss Emma. Amelia Bedelia and Effie Lou ate their lunch. I wonder where she keeps her scraps, said Amelia Bedelia. I'll ask her. She went to Miss Emma's room. She came right back. We will have to look for them, said Amelia Bedelia. She's asleep. They looked and looked. Here's a whole bag of scraps, said Effie Lou. Good, said Amelia Bedelia. Take some and we'll throw them to the chickens. Oh boy. They went out to the chicken pen. Effie Lou threw the scraps. The chickens came running. Look at that, said Amelia Bedelia. I never knew chickens liked to play. Aren't they funny, said Effie Lou. They sure are, said Amelia Bedelia, but I've got to get that tea cake made. So they threw out scraps of clothing. Do you think that's what they meant, what Miss Emma meant, boys and girls? Whew. I never heard of tea cake, said Effie Lou. Neither have I, said Amelia Bedelia. Then how can you make one, said Effie Lou. Well, said Amelia Bedelia, I know what tea is and I know what cake is. I'll put them together and I'll have a tea cake. That's easy, said Effie Lou. Amelia Bedelia got a mixing bowl. She put in a little of this and some of that into it. She mixed and she mixed. Now for the tea, she said. Oh boy, tea cakes. She's going to put tea in it. Amelia Bedelia opened some of the tea bags and mixed the tea into the batter. It looks awful, said Effie Lou. Different folks have different tastes, said Amelia Bedelia. She poured the batter into the pan. Soon the cake was baking. Amelia Bedelia began to mix another cake. What kind are you making now, said Effie Lou. Nut cake, said Amelia Bedelia. Miss Emma loves that. Finally the cakes were baked. Oh boy. Are you going to put icing on them? said Effie Lou. That's a good idea, said Amelia Bedelia. It will fancy them up. She mixed white icing and pink icing. You ice the tea cake pink, she said. I'll ice the nut cake white. They finished the cakes and put them away. Miss Emma came into the kitchen. The cake is ready, said Amelia Bedelia. It smells good, said Miss Emma. I don't know if I can finish this one. There's one more thing I want you to do. There is a bare spot on my front lawn. Please sow these grass seeds on it. We will be glad to, said Amelia Bedelia. Come on, Effie Lou. They went out front. That spot is bare, said Effie Lou. It sure is, said Amelia Bedelia. She sat down and took 2 needles and some thread from her bag. She threaded the needles. Here is yours, she said. Now let's sew. Okay. So this is a good lesson on synonyms. Words that sound the same, spelled differently, and mean different things. Amelia Bedelia and Effie Lou sowed those grass seeds on the bare spot. Tie the ends together, said Amelia Bedelia. We don't want the seed to fall off. They went into the house. Miss Emma was in the kitchen. Let's walk around some, she said. Show me what you've done. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. They walked by the chicken pen. I'm getting confused with Amelia Bedelia here. Land sakes, said Miss Emma. What are those colored things? Scraps, said Amelia Bedelia. Those chickens did have fun. My quilting pieces, said Miss Emma. My good quilting pieces? Did you use the wrong scraps? Oh, did we use the wrong scraps, said Amelia Bedelia. Go get them, Effie Lou. Oh, so Miss Emma is a quilter. Oh boy, it's just not good. Miss Emma walked to the garden. She stopped and stared. Those weeds, she said. Those big weeds? We got the biggest we could find, said Amelia Bedelia. Look at Miss Emma. Does she look happy? Miss Emma looked at Amelia Bedelia. Thank goodness Sumter will be back soon, she said. Why didn't you stake the beans? We did, said Amelia Bedelia. There just wasn't much steak to give them. Show her, Effie Lou. Effie Lou held up a bush. There goes my dinner, said Miss Emma. Oh my goodness, Miss Emma is going to have a heart attack if she's not careful. She looked at the potatoes. I see the bugs are dead, she said. Dead, said Amelia Bedelia. Did we dust them too much? I'll get you some more. Miss Emma laughed and said, I can live without them. You've done enough. We've enjoyed doing it, said Amelia Bedelia. So finally, Miss Emma is happy. I don't think she knows what's coming next. I've seen all I want to see, said Miss Emma. They all went inside. The ladies should be here soon, said Miss Emma. The table is set. The tea is made. You can put the cake on this tray. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. I'll let the ladies in, said Miss Emma. She left the kitchen. Let's get the cakes ready, said Amelia Bedelia. I hear the ladies coming now. Soon, Miss Emma called, Amelia Bedelia, please bring the tea. Coming, said Amelia Bedelia. Bring the cakes, Effie Lou. Amelia Bedelia set the tea tray in front of Miss Emma. Go ahead and pass the cake, said Miss Emma. Every lady took some cake. I'm starved, said Miss Lee. I can't wait for the tea. She bit into her cake. Uh-oh. Let's see what happens next. Delicious, she said. I've never tasted this kind before. You've never tasted nut cake? Said Miss Mary. This isn't nut cake, said Miss Lee. Try the pink kind. It is good, said Grandma Wilson. Hand me another piece. There, said Miss Emma. Your tea is poured. Who cares about tea, said Mrs. Mark. I want more pink cake. Ah, the cake is a hit. Thank goodness for Miss Emma. Emma, do tell us what kind of cake this is, said Mrs. Bloom. Miss Emma took some cake. My favorite, she said. Nut cake. No, the pink kind, said Ella Jean. Try the pink kind. But all the pink cake was gone. Stop keeping secrets, said Grandma Wilson. What kind of cake was that? Ask Amelia Bedelia, said Miss Emma. She made it. A car horn honked outside. Mr. Rogers, said Amelia Bedelia. Come on, Effie Lou. Oh, so it'll be a secret. Because she never got a chance to tell her. Miss Emma followed Amelia Bedelia to the kitchen. What kind of cake was the pink one? She said. Amelia Bedelia looked puzzled. Tea cake, she said. That's what you said that's what you said to make. Tea? You mean, Miss Emma said. She began to laugh. Amelia Bedelia saw something. Oh, I plumb forgot, she said. Your grass seeds. Miss Emma looked at them. She laughed harder and put them around her neck. Because see what she put around her neck? It was a necklace of grass seeds. Poor Amelia Bedelia. She didn't get much right. Amelia Bedelia, she said, you are really something. Effie Lou, you are lucky to have Amelia Bedelia for an aunt. I know, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia knows everything. The horn honked again. Hurry, Effie Lou, said Amelia Bedelia. We can't keep Mr. Rogers waiting. And I think that's her brother, because that's her auntie. Mm-hmm. And that's it, boys and girls. So, is communication happening? Do you know what a synonym? I can't even talk. Words that they sound the same, but they're spelled differently and they have different meanings. So clear communication is always, always important. And it's always tough. Even adults have problems with it.